Welcome to the special finale of our series. Over the past few installments, we've explored the biology, the history, and the intense training requirements of a genuinely unique animal. Today, we're concluding our explainer on the Czechoslovak Wolfdog by diving into the emotional journey of its creation. We're going to look at the sheer courage it took, not just to breed this animal, but to actually share your life with it. It's a really beautiful story about bridging the gap between the wild forest and the human home.
To kick things off, let's ground ourselves in the enduring philosophy of the breed's late founder, Karel Hartl. He didn't just want to create some biological marvel. He deeply believed in a mutual, respectful partnership. He wanted an animal that commanded respect, where the human isn't just a master, but a true friend, and the dog is an equal partner. That philosophy, it's the absolute heartbeat of everything we're talking about today.
Section 1, The Birth of a Wolf Dream. The Visionary's Dream.
To truly grasp what this breed is all about, we've got to jump back to 1955. This was a highly visionary project, initially locked away behind the strict, secretive walls of the Czechoslovak border guard. The brilliant mind running the whole thing was Karel Hartl, who amazingly just recently passed away at 99 years old. While most people back then just saw wolves as dangerous predators, Hartl was completely fascinated by them. He looked at the grueling conditions Border Patrol dogs faced and wondered, hey, what if the ancient blood of the Carpathian wolf is exactly what we need?
And his motivation wasn't about making a trendy new pet. As he put it himself, he wasn't trying to create a new breed at all. This was a strictly scientific, functional quest. It was all about returning that lost, wild resilience and vitality to the genes of German shepherds, traits that centuries of domestication had basically just bred right out of our working dogs.
So this kicked off a massive 4-decade journey. The famous Libějovice experiment begins in 1955, and the very first pups from the founding she-wolf, Brita, arrive in 1958. But it wasn't until 1999 that they finally got definitive international recognition. That is over 40 years of battling intense skepticism from traditional breeders who swore that mixing wild blood would completely ruin the German Shepherd line. It was a massive uphill battle.
Section 2, Taming the Wild. Bridging two worlds. The sheer courage it took to bridge that gap started with a pretty astonishing genetic bottleneck. Think about this for a second. The entire global population of the Czechoslovak Wolfdog today traces its wild heritage back to just 4 incredible wolves: Brita, Argo, Shark, and Lady. They were introduced over a 25-year span. Literally every single ounce of wild instinct you see in a modern wolfdog comes directly from these 4 specific individuals.
And let me tell you, those early days were pure chaos. The F1 generation, the direct offspring of a wolf and a dog, were anatomically up to 75% wolf. They were way too wild for standard military service. Handlers quickly found out that by around 8 to 10 months old, these hybrids would instinctively fight them for pack dominance. Traditional military dog training, which was all about strict drills and force, completely backfired. The animals would literally just shut down or fight back. But why push through all that chaos? Well, the answer comes down to the number 100. 100 kilometers. That's the endurance test these dogs were eventually running. The reward for all that struggle was unprecedented physical stamina. These wolf dogs could effortlessly run 100 kilometers alongside a bicycle, and astonishingly, their breathing and heart rates would recover almost instantly. There wasn't a single domestic dog out there that could match that kind of phenomenal wild stamina.
Section 3, The Ultimate Test of Coexistence, Balancing Instinct and Devotion. So what does it actually take to bring this piece of wild nature out of the forest and into your living room? Living with a Czechoslovak Wolfdog means you are constantly walking a tightrope. On one side, you have these ancient, incredibly cautious wolf instincts. They solve problems independently, and they communicate with this rich vocabulary of howls. But on the other side, they have this profound dog-like devotion and a really intense love for their owner. Managing this breed is all about harmonizing these two entirely different worlds every single day. Because of this duality, you literally have to play by the rules of the wolf pack. You cannot force a wolf dog into submission. If you try, they'll either break completely or rebel against you. You have to step up and become a true, calm, and patient pack leader. You guide them using observational learning. They are brilliant at learning just by watching you or other dogs, and positive motivation. You have to respect their intelligence too. If an exercise doesn't make logical sense to them, they simply won't do it.
And here is perhaps the biggest hurdle for modern owners:
Their pack drive is immensely strong, inherited directly from wolves who literally rely on the pack for survival. Because of this, leaving them alone can be disastrous. They suffer from severe separation anxiety. We're not just talking about a sad dog whining at the door. An isolated wolf dog will completely demolish an apartment in a total panic, just trying to reunite with you. It perfectly illustrates why they are absolutely not meant to be solitary yard dogs. They need their family.
The renowned animal behavior expert Eberhard Trumbler initially doubted this whole project, but he eventually gained a deep respect for it. He noted that patience always has to be our main virtue, because the dog also has immense patience with us. Successfully raising such a sensitive, complex animal requires a level of empathy that ultimately transforms you just as much as the dog. You don't just train a wolf dog, you evolve right alongside them.
Section 4. An enduring legacy. The responsibility of the pack.
It is absolutely vital to understand that this animal is not some fashionable accessory. Because they look exactly like wolves, people so often buy them purely for aesthetics, completely unprepared for how demanding they actually are. Rescue stations, like the Adamov Rescue Station in the Czech Republic, are unfortunately filled with misunderstood, deeply traumatized wolf dogs. Their previous owners just didn't have the time, the patience, or the understanding required to truly lead a pack. But if you do put in the work, the reward is just immeasurable. Karel Hartl always emphasized that getting a dog is a massive 14-plus year commitment that demands real sacrifices. But as he so beautifully said, the arrival of a dog changes your life in the best possible way. The bond you build with the Czechoslovak Wolfdog, earning the genuine respect of an animal with wild blood, will profoundly enrich your soul. And with that, we want to say a huge thank you for following along with this entire Explainer series. We've taken this incredible, emotional journey together into the heart of a true national treasure, tracing its path from a top-secret military experiment all the way to becoming a beloved, challenging, and truly magnificent companion. Now, before we wrap up, we really want to hear from you. What aspect of the Czechoslovak Wolfdog's emotional journey fascinated you the most? And what specific stories or deep dives about this incredible breed should we cover in our next series? Drop your thoughts and suggestions down in the comments and keep exploring the fascinating world around you. Until next time,